I'm at Tower Bridge, and like so much of London, it was built with British steel. For over a century, steel made on this island shaped the world, from the railways that crossed continents to the warships that defended empire. Steel meant strength, and Britain made a lot of it. Now the last blast furnaces in Britain are under threat, and there's a question about whether this country will even be able to produce steel at all. Today I'm going to take you on a journey through London. The buildings of this city tell the story of British steel, its rise and its decline. Welcome to History Counts. I've come to Tower Bridge first because it's a landmark that everybody knows, but it's also one of the first major symbols of Britain's steel age. Finished in 1894, it's the perfect blend of Victorian ambition and cutting-edge technology. Beneath the stone facade, designed to make it look old and in keeping with its surroundings, it's actually made of British steel. It was produced by a booming industry. Britain at that time was producing around a third of the world's steel already. Fast forward to the decades after the Second World War, the 50s, the 60s and the 70s, and steel was no longer just important for ships, railways and bridges. It was vital for everything. I've come here to the Barbican in the city of London. It's a monument to the efforts to rebuild London from the ruins of the Blitz. These buildings were made by pouring concrete over a steel skeleton. At the point that this estate was built, British steel was a nationalised industry employing hundreds of thousands of people. At its peak, 320,000 were employed by the British steel industry. For places like Scunthorpe, Port Talbot and Sheffield, steel was the lifeblood of society. It meant pride, and it meant, most importantly, work. For cities like those, steelworks felt like a symbol of working class prosperity. But their impact wasn't just felt where the factories were. From motorways to mines to the new Heathrow Airport, steel made Britain feel urban, forward-looking, ambitious and modern. I've come now to the heart of the city of London, where the Lloyds building wears its steel on the outside. Built in the 1980s, it's one of the last buildings in the city made out of mostly British steel. It's bold, it's futuristic, it's exposed, but by the time it opened in 1986, the cracks in the British steel industry were already showing. Foreign competition became fiercer, steel jobs began disappearing and imports started rising fast. Just a few years later, Britain began closing plants and the long decline of the British steel industry began. It had an impact all over the country. In Scotland in 1995, the great Ravenscraig plant shut. In Wales, the Ebbw Valley plant shut in 2002, and Redcar in the northeast of England closed in 2015. And that leads us to where we are today. Modern Britain was built by British steel, from imperial bridges to post-war housing to icons like the one behind me. Its fingerprints are everywhere, but like so many industries in this country, it's been downsized, globalised, and in some cases totally dismantled. It leaves us with the question of, can a country thrive when it forgets how to forge that which made it? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video today. Please do subscribe if you like what you saw. I'll be back next week with another video taking you behind the headlines. This is still quite a new channel. I'm only just starting out, so any feedback in the comments, any likes, any subscriptions are hugely, hugely appreciated. Please do tune in next week, and thank you again for watching.